They have earned this distinction through demonstrated courage and achievement. They now join the proud ranks of over 1 million Marines who have graduated from Parris Island since it was designated a recruit depot in 1915. From this day on, they will be known as Marines. presents the command to the commanding officer of troops, indicating that the parade is formed.
Marine Corp Recruit Depot, Parris, South Carolina, 12 January 1990. The officer of the day today is Chief Warrant Officer Mate. The officer of the day tomorrow is Chief Warrant Officer Brown. My order J. Mate Jr., Major General, United States Marine Corps, commanding officer, ASS, North.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commanding officer of the Recruit Training Regiment, Colonel Frank Claybaugh.
morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Major General Lynch, Commanding General of the Marine Corp Recruit Depot, welcome to Parris Island. I hope you've had an opportunity to tour our depot. We're very proud of Parris Island and feel that it's one of the finest training facilities in the world. Preparing young recruits for duty with the Fleet Marine Forces requires an effective and rigorous training program that not only challenges each individual, but rewards outstanding effort. The Marines standing before you this morning have taken on this challenge and, like those who have gone before them, achieved the success of their wildest dreams. They've earned the right and privilege of being called Marine. As parents and loved ones, I'm certain that you share with them the sense of pride and achievement as well as you should. The values, the character, the moral fiber that you had instilled in them has contributed significantly to their success here at Parris Island. A special recognition must go to the recruiters who are responsible for our new Marines' presence here at the Recruit Depot. These dedicated men and women serve daily throughout our country, trying to find qualified applicants who too want to take up the challenge. We, the recruit trainers, completely understand the important role that they serve and know that without them, there would be no Parris Island. Finally, I'd like to thank the individuals most responsible for the training of our recruits, the drill instructors. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marines standing behind me wearing the campaign hat or the Scarlet Cord are among the finest NCOs, staff NCOs in the Marine Corps. They have stood beside the young Marines since the beginning of training. Their work began well before sunrise every morning, and it continued until sunset every day. They, along with their company officers, went everywhere the recruits went, did everything the recruits did. This went on for 7 days a week for 12 strenuous weeks. I'm sure you can appreciate the tremendous sacrifice both they and their families have made to make this moment possible. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're very pleased that you could join with us today. Welcome to our Marine Corps family. Now I'd like to address a few words to our new Marines. Marines Company and the 4,000 series, welcome to the Corps. It is indeed my privilege to be the first to address you as Marines. For Marines you are, and Marines you will always be. As you look about you and see how your ranks have thinned, you recognize that not all who took up the challenge succeeded. Today, you have earned the right to the title United States Marine. This title carries with it, though, a sizable responsibility. On your shoulders, you carry a proud tradition that has been molded through the gallant efforts of thousands of Marines who have gone before you in our 214-year history. I know you will do nothing to tarnish this proud heritage. Marines, in a few moments, you'll be dismissed for the last time at Parris Island. Before that dismissal, the band will play the Marine hymn. You'll feel a special sense of pride that has been felt by every Marine who has graduated before you. A special feeling that's hard to describe and near impossible to duplicate. It was not taught in manuals, but it is the most important thing you gain from Parris Island. We call it esprit de corps. As you move throughout the Corps worldwide, show this esprit and take with you our motto, Semper Fidelis, always faithful. And I charge you to be always faithful. Faithful to your God, faithful to your family, faithful to your country, and faithful to your Corps. And now, Marines, the torch is passed to you. Carry it proudly. I wish you good luck and Godspeed.
Ready? Forward! Yeah. Harry? Push! Order arms! Good, good! Out! 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 Out!
Presenting the awards today is Colonel Flava. He is accompanied by Sergeant Major McGraw, the Regimental Sergeant Major.
And all color! And march! March! Present arms! Present! Go! Out!
Will now present the awards. Please hold your applause until all of the awards have been presented. The honor graduate for Company E is Jerry O'Neill from Baltimore, Maryland. Lance Corporal O'Neill was recruited by Sergeant August and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Anderson. The undergraduate for Company N is Precious Townsend from Beaverton, Oregon. PFC Townsend is also the series high shooter with a score of 234 out of a possible 250 points. He was recruited by Staff Sergeant Boyd and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Martin. The honor graduate for Platoon 4000 is Melissa Hanna from Cumberland, Maryland. PFC Hanna is also the platoon high shooter with a score of 232. She was recruited by Staff Sergeant Montag and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Kamensky. The honor graduate for Platoon 2001 is Vera Lampleton from Murphy, North Carolina. PFC Lampleton was recruited by Sergeant Pickenpaw and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Gardner. The undergraduate for Platoon 2002 is Charles Crowder from Atlanta, Georgia. PFC Crowder was recruited by Staff Sergeant Rothrock and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Crowder. The honor graduate for Platoon 2004 is Chad Costas from Theodore, Alabama. PFC Costas was recruited by Sergeant Latimer and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Hernandez. The honor graduate for Platoon 2005 is Bruce Beal from Theresa, New York. PFC Beal is also the platoon high shooter with a score of 234. He was recruited by Staff Sergeant Salmon and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Crosby. The honor graduate for Platoon 2006 is William Shuck from Pensacola, Florida. PFC Shuck was recruited by Sergeant Leonard and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Jacobs. The high shooter for Company E is Jerry Prophet from Athens, Ohio. Private Prophet fired a score of 238. He was recruited by Sergeant Tracy and was trained by Primary Marksmanship Instructor Staff Sergeant Fisher. His senior drill instructor is Staff Sergeant Hernandez. The high shooter for Platoon 2000 is Edward Woodrow from Biloxi, Mississippi. Private Woodrow fired a score of 234. He was recruited by Sergeant Chapman and was trained by Primary Marksmanship Instructor Staff Sergeant Fish. His senior drill instructor is Sergeant Anderson. The high shooter for Platoon 2001 is John Bunce from Cromwell, Connecticut. Private Bunce fired a score of 236. He was recruited by Staff Sergeant Virouet and was trained by Primary Marksmanship Instructor Sergeant Maxey. His senior drill instructor is Staff Sergeant Gardner. The high shooter for Platoon 2002 is Jerome Rawls from New York, New York. Private Rawls fired a score of 237. He was recruited by Sergeant Ferguson and was trained by Primary Marksmanship Instructor Sergeant Syke. His senior drill instructor is Staff Sergeant Crawford. The high shooter for Platoon 2006 is James Hagner from Staten Island, New York. Private Hagner fired a score of 231. He was recruited by Sergeant Champion and was trained by Primary Marksmanship Instructor Staff Sergeant Lopez. His senior drill instructor is Sergeant Jacobs. Receiving the Physical Excellence Award for Company N is Janice Carlo from Coborojo, Puerto Rico. PFC Carlo achieved a score of 357. She was recruited by Staff Sergeant Sotomayor and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Arms. Receiving the Physical Excellence Award for Series 2000 is Jason Brown from Stratford, Connecticut. PFC Brown achieved a score of 363. He was recruited by Staff Sergeant Grossi and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Gardner. Receiving the Physical Excellence Award for Company E is Michael Slattery from Albany, New York. Private Slattery achieved a score of 365. He was recruited by Staff Sergeant Hall and was trained by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Hernandez. Ladies and gentlemen, the distinguished graduates of Company E and Company N. the commanding officer of troops, Major Gerald Lynn, and his staff. The Parris Island Marine Wing, under the direction of Chief Warrant Officer Roger Crone. The drum major is Master Gunnery Sergeant Gary First Lieutenant Stephen Mackey and his graduating Marine. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2000, Sergeant Anderson. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2001, Staff Sergeant Gardner. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2002, Staff Sergeant Crawford. First Lieutenant Kerry Gordon and his graduating Marine. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2004, Staff Sergeant Hernandez. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2005, Staff Sergeant Crosby. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2006, Sergeant Jacobs. Captain Felicia Epps and her graduating Marine. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 4000, Staff Sergeant Kamensky. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 4001, Staff Sergeant Arndt. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure at this time to introduce to you the commanding officers of our graduating companies. The commanding officer of Company E is Captain William Rampey from Columbia, South Carolina. The commanding officer of Company N is Captain Jolene Hollingshead from Puyallup, Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, the company commanders of Company E and Company N. Ladies and gentlemen, the Marines most responsible for the training of the graduates are the platoon drill instructors. Prior to assignment, each drill instructor takes a pledge which reads as follows. These recruits are entrusted to my care. I will train them to the best of my ability. I will develop them into smartly disciplined, physically fit, basically trained Marines, thoroughly indoctrinated in love of corps and country. I will demand of them and demonstrate by my own example the highest standards of personal conduct, morality, and professional skill. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce to you the Marines responsible for training Company E and Company N. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll look to your left, the senior drill instructor of Platoon 2000 is Sergeant Maurice Anderson from Greensboro, North Carolina. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2000 are drill instructors Sergeant Donald Newsom from Portsmouth, Virginia, Sergeant Spencer Moore from Charlottesville, Virginia, and Sergeant J. Albert from Olympia, Washington. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2001 is Staff Sergeant Edward Gardner from Kansas City, Missouri. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2001 are drill instructors Staff Sergeant Thomas Medina from Eaton, Colorado, Sergeant Timothy Kirkendall from Seaford, Delaware, and Sergeant Nesby Henderson from Newberry, South Carolina. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2002 is Staff Sergeant Robert Crawford from Cordele, Georgia. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2002 are drill instructors Staff Sergeant James Hines from Brockton, Massachusetts, and Sergeant Curtis Neal from Columbus, Mississippi. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2004 is Staff Sergeant Ricardo Hernandez from El Salvador, Central America. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2004 are drill instructors Staff Sergeant Keith Stevens from Detroit, Michigan, Staff Sergeant James Adams from Moultrie, Georgia, and Sergeant Darrell Fletcher from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2005 is Staff Sergeant Demont Crosby from Erie, Pennsylvania. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2005 are drill instructors Sergeant Dale Pioff from Greenville, South Carolina, and Sergeant Felix Aviles from Brooklyn, New York. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 2006 is Sergeant Douglas Jacobs from Hershey, Michigan. Assisting in the training of Platoon 2006 are drill instructors Sergeant Thomas Sablotny from Springfield, Illinois, and Sergeant Emmanuel Simmons from New York, New York. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 4000 is Staff Sergeant Anne-Marie Kamensky from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Assisting in the training of Platoon 4000 are drill instructors Staff Sergeant Rose Weber from Santa Clara, California, and Staff Sergeant Starlene Mercado from Watertown, New York. The senior drill instructor of Platoon 4001 is Staff Sergeant Marie Arndt from Forsyth, Georgia. Assisting in the training of Platoon 4001 are drill instructors Staff Sergeant Jacqueline Lenningham from Charleston, South Carolina, and Sergeant Michelle Massey from Jacksonville, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, the drill instructors of Company E and Company N. The platoon guidons that are about to be retired have been the identification flags of each platoon throughout recruit training. To each, the guidon is a symbol of spirit, dedication, teamwork, and unit identity. Each Marine graduating today will long remember the individual and team efforts that have been expended, ensuring that their respective guidons were always carried with pride and distinction. The senior drill instructor of each platoon will return the guidon to battalion headquarters for its retirement.
Guys! Return the guidon!
Ladies and gentlemen, you're reminded that refreshments will be served behind the reviewing stands immediately following the ceremony. Please rise for Anchors Away, the Marines hymn, and the final dismissal.
Dismiss!